Chapter 10 of It's a Dangerous Business Going at Your Door. Get up. Absex's headlights flared, growing. She rolled over and grabbed the covers further around her. Those accommodations were a further step up for Grace Walls. He became a genuine bed to sleep in. She relished in it. Get up! The same distant voice said. She was nuzzled in withers. What time was it? Get up! Hurry! The voice said again. Absec rolled over and opened her eyes. Aztail was standing beside her bed, his blue eyes grave, mouth a thin line. Ugh, what time is it? She asked with a yawn. The room was still dark. About an hour before daybreak. The dark red earth pony said, Get up! Abstract shook her head to clear the cobwebs of sleep. All right, I'm good, she muttered, rolling over and crawling out of bed. Beside her, Verity whimpered. Verity, Rainbow Joss, you two should go down to the dining hall. Azrael said, Breakfast is on. The cooks got up early to make enough of the royal guard in my own sauces. He chuckled. I'm also planning a feast for the aftermath of the battle, for all who survive it anyway. I don't think he'll come today, Applejack said firmly. Hurrying out of bed, putting her hat on. Ready? Rainbow, up and down! She said. Azrael leaned in close to her. Do you still intend to go through with this? I think you're insane. You'll all be killed! Applejack smiled. I ain't got no plans to that base, Keeb, she said. The dark red earth pony huffed. Then you best come with me. There's something I must show you. Applejack gave him a glance for a moment. All right, she finally said. Really, Rainbow? You two go down and get some breakfast. I'll meet me outside after daybreak. Yes, all right, Verity murmured. Come on, Rainbow Dash, nice inside, so to speak. She nudged the Susie Pegasus with her hoof. Dash mumbled in her sleep and turned over. Applejack left her friends and followed Aztail down the long hallway of Thacom's third story, past the many rooms to a house currently sleeping Dale ponies. He passed in front of the large circular window at the front of the Thack home, where the zigzagging ramp led them down to the second story, then across the wooden planking and down another ramp and zigzagged to the great barns of ground level. It was dark and quiet, the cavernous space silent as a tomb. Azrael's host crouched softly against the stone floor, heading between the pillars on the left and following down towards the back of the hall. Azrael suspected where he was going. If that call's was anything like Graveswall's, she followed into the great doorway, down a hallway where branches were leading further up hallways on her left. She had just saw it. She was led down a stone ramp, but this ramp was curved to the left. When she got to the bottom, the torches burning and iron scones revealed an armory of much grander scope than what she had seen in Graveswald. It had a vaulted ceiling of wood, and the center was filled with dozens of racks on the roof of axes, spears, knives, and even a few telescopic swords were already neatly arranged. Stalls in the hundreds lined the walls on either side. Aztail took her down the line to the left, looked down where he could see the wooden pony quins, mounted with countless sets of bolted layered armor. Finally, the dark red earth pony led her to the very end, where a row of armor stalls met the back wall, the tunnel stone formation. Here, at the back, a stall had been blocked off, two wooden boards nailed across in an X shape. Peering inside through the dim light, Applejack could barely see a set of armor mounted on another wooden puddingkin. Azrael turned to her. This was my sister's armor, he said. The earth pony drew her in breath. Well? He looked away, blue eyes glistening. She was caught outside the northern quarters fastest one day when the Kamungas arrived. She had no warning. They came by surprise. No hawk or outlook spotted them. Applejack's heart gave. Oh, well, sure, keep I'm so sorry. This explained a few things. Actually explained many things. Some of them very important. Aztail set his mouth in a grim line. She could tell he was fighting emotions. I miss her. I know my father does as well, but he never shows grief. He taught me to remain in control of the neutral. His thought is the leadership our ponies need. They need calm in the midst of a storm. Gotta try sometime, she said. You know, that's kind of ironic, considering I have written so many times that Applejack doesn't cry and that she doesn't tear up at all. And that last time she's ever cried was with the death of her parents. I kind of love that. And here she is saying that. Total irony here. She would have said that, he said. Applejack arched an eyebrow. You gonna tell me how I remind her, Neil? Aztec gave her a grim smile. You do in some ways, he said. You're so loyal to your friends and your home. Just you was. But you're also different from her. My sister was timid, quiet. She never would have stood up to Lord Hammerhoof as you did. Aztec peered back into the stall. Why are you showing me this? She asked. Because I want you to understand, he said, his voice thick. The Commongers take and destroy as a matter of course. Take and destroy as a matter of course. They are forces of nature. They cannot be modest as you think they can. They can only be met and fought. Amsec felt her own bubbling urge to cry. Aztail followed his father's command well, and was never showed gentle feelings. Never allowed others to read his emotions. As she could see the pain in his eyes now. For him to show her this, to make himself vulnerable before her. She sighed, shaking her head. I think I understand you better now, she said softly, stepping closer, leaning her head forward. A lot better, really. But Aztail, you're wrong. I know you're wrong. How can you be so certain? Because I know things you don't, she said. Because where I come from, because who I am. Aztail met her eyes. They stared at each other for a long moment. Elzek swallowed hard. His eyes were really striking. The face so calm and neutral, but his eyes revealed so much passion. She leaned closer. He turned away. Then I hope you're right, he said, voice quavering. He looked hard at his sister's armor for a moment, then spoke again when to say, There's one more important thing about my sister. Look, she was about your size. Ansel turned to the stall and reared back. He wrapped his front legs around one of the boards and tugged. There was a groaning wood, then crack! Nails were ripped off the board's frame, clattering to the stone floor. Jack's eyes widened. Ansel tore out the other board. I'll help you put it on. I couldn't! Epzak cried. It was your sister's! But she doesn't need it now. You do. If you face the Commongers, I will see you are protected. Why me? What about Rainbow or Rarely? Rarely has some magic. Rainbow does has wings, the Dark Red Earth said. And I can stand for you taught me. The Orange Earth Pony stopped her hooked to the ground. It ain't right for me to be safer when they can't be. You can't ask me to. Please take it! He cried, whirling on her. Eyes wide to advance. This is the only set of armor to spare back home. I wish I had armor for your friends as well, but I do not. I only have enough to protect one of you three, and I choose to protect you. Amazak gasped. Astiel flinched away from her. Make a thought, if you will. Amazak's heart hammered in her chest. She forced herself to focus on the important thing right now. The need to prove herself right and win her rager. Now, you see, Tears of Gaia? This is how you do male-female interactions with a strong female protagonist without making her a weak DID. Now, please redo your little deer and Fluttershy BS again. Alright, she said with a nod. I'll wear it. She wondered what her friends would think. She hoped he would understand. Estelle, there's another thing I need. More important than his armor. Other thing, Estelle said. Ask anything of me. And if it's within my power to provide it, you will have it. Applejack gave him a knowing smile. Ain't nothing, Blake, she said. I just need some rope. And now I was hearing Mirror of Relentless Spirit playing. The sun rose orange from the east, setting Glidale's golden fields ablaze in its firelight. Rainbow Dash and Rarity sat side by side against the Thorholm stone foundation. watching the sunrise in silence. It was not a comfortable quiet, however, as both thought with dread on the coming day. My unicorn's mind was focused on the date. 7 days, they thought. 7 days ago today, Twilight Sparkle had been stricken with the horn rot. 1 week had passed. 1 week remained in which they could save their friend with certainty. Under that, they would be putting her at grave risk. Rarity wondered what Twilight was doing right now. She hoped the lavender unicorn was sleeping. She hoped she wasn't in pain. Maybe Dash could not ignore her gnawing doubts. Applejack had spent minutes of last night telling her and Rarity about her idea. The three of them had formalized their plan of action. She wanted desperately for Applejack to be right, in no small part because she didn't want to be locked up. But she could not be certain. She didn't have Applejack's experience, the hard-learned lessons that granted the Orange Earth Point and wisdom to see what she had saw. You think Applejack's right? She asked Rarity without turning her head. You think this is gonna work? Rarity said after a pause. I hope so. She had her doubts as well. Everything was right on the Orange Earth Point being correct. It's not a gamble Rarity would have made. I hope she is right. Otherwise, we'd not be able to save Twilight. It's been a week, Dad said. 3 more days until I need to leave on my own. She hated the thought now. The closer she got to the date, the more she dreaded trying to leave her friends. Now she might be forced to leave them sooner. Rainbow? Applejack said. Just don't work, and you grab Rarity and me, I want you to take off. Get away if you can. Go get that bit of violet. Don't worry about us. I don't want to leave them, she thought, Rose's eyes wavering. She felt so much closer to both of them after all the time spent in their company. The thought of leaving them behind would literally kill her. Here and now she hated Clydesdale and his ponies for bringing her to this. Are you all right, Rainbow Dash? Rarity asked her. Dash turned her head and met Rarity's blue eyes. White Unicorn was staring intently at her. Why does it have to be like this? She asked, sounding as hopeless as she suddenly felt. Why do the deal points have to make us do this? Why don't they just like us? You and me. Rarity turned her head towards the fields. I think they're afraid of us, she said slowly. Afraid? Dash repeated. Why would they be afraid? Rarity blinked and smiled grimly. I think they see us as death now of their culture. You heard what Lord Hammerhoof said. But we don't want to stay and mess up their weird, moneyless culture, Sky Blue Pegasus protested. We just want to pass through. They fear what they don't understand, Rarity said. And that's the worst kind of fear. It drives ponies to do drastic things. Things that become very cruel, she sighed. I've been like that before. So have you. So has every pony. I can understand that. That's not the hoof on the stone. I just can't believe all this. None of these ponies were free, but they're just mean and close-minded. Rarity looked at a younger pony with a flare of her eyeglasses. But they are free, Rainbow. Can't you see? They're much freer than we are in Equestria. But they're so free they're exposed. They're naked, dear. So they and their way of life are fragile. They know that they must resist change to preserve it. So do they do innocently. But as Tails did, mostly because they come among us, Jess replied. In part, but not entirely, Rarity said. She put her hook to her chin. But I wonder if they don't use that as an excuse. If the Deopos really wanted to solve the Kamunga problem, why not ask Princess Celestia for help? I seen they had to fight and struggle. That's not what Seal Maiden said at all. Seal Maiden is very kind and gentle, Rarity said softly. It's because of her I don't think there's anything deliberately harmful in what they do to themselves. They don't enjoy suffering, but see it as a sacrifice they must do to preserve their culture. They let themselves grow a bit too proud of it, though. It's evident in their fashion choices. Fashion? Des repeated, incredulous. You can't judge them based on their fashion? Oh goodness, yes, Rarity said. Or lack thereof. They don't seem to wear clothes for any occasion, except the royals. And even they just wear simple jewels. But what they do wear, or what they have put careful thought into? She raised her eyebrows. People just stared at her. Rarity sighed. The armor. Do you see how intricate some of the leatherwork was? They use gold thread, which must be very difficult for Earth ponies to create. Thus, to say nothing of how hard it is to work with leather if you don't have magic. And they dye it too. At least, I assume they do. If it comes from Kamunga hide, it smells like a source. Comprehensive slowly dawned on Daz. So they spend a lot of time on what they wear to fights. Because fights are important to them? Fights in God duty, Verity said. They see themselves as under attack from all sides, so they grow proud of defense. They are a folk under constant siege, at least they seem themselves that way. All because of that limitless freedom. That's why in their ears. This is freedom! I don't want it, she cried. But is it freedom? Verity asked her. Death trailed off. She thought, really thought. Slowly, from the racy channels of her mind, words were summoned. What were you saying before? It's about being free to take risks, isn't it? It's about being free to be yourself. And you can only do that if you're safe in other ways, right? Verity smiled. There we go, darling, Verity said softly. But I think you're wrong about the deal points, Rainbow Dash said, first growing more confident. They're not scared, they're just stubborn. It's something they seem to want to change. Sylvain does, and I know some of the other deal points do. They're so brave. They can discover who they are, even in the face of danger, even because of it, she roasted her host. You can't discover who you are, you're safe all the time. Danger reveals the point's hidden strength. It reveals yours, Verity's eyebrows raised. Going on this journey has taught me more about you than I thought there was to begin with. I thought you were all about was fashion and going stuff and full stuff. I thought you were a total airhead. But you're really smart and kind, and you get things I don't. You're amazing, Verity. Verity looked up at her with wide eyes. And you see more than I give you credit for, Rainbow Dash, she said. Looking at the ground, Dash sat back down. I didn't mean to say you were an airhead, she said gently. Yes, you did, Verity said. But you don't think that now, right? Dash shook her head. And I don't think well, I don't think you're as quite as dense as I used to, if I must be blunt. You can learn and you can grow, Rainbow. And I already know you're not afraid. I'm plenty afraid, she admitted. I just keep beating fear every time. She met Rarity's eyes. You know, we don't really hang out. We're both Twilight Sparkle's friends, Rarity said. But we're not friends. Or we didn't used to be, the Sky Blue Pegasus said, heart soaring. I want to change that. Verity nodded her head. I like that, Rainbow. I like that very much. Dash. Come again. Call me Dash, she said. All my friends do. Well, except Applejack. I don't know why she doesn't. She held a hoof at Rarity. Rarity raised her own hoof. All right then, Dash. The two ponies put their hoofs together. There was a loud bang behind them, causing them both to raise their hooves. Turning, they saw the doors of Stockholm open wide. The elk ponies in full armor came pouring out the great barn, hooves thundering on the turf outside, spears sticking up like a great moving forest. Bright Voice was at their head, led further down the stone ramp to the great golden gates. As the other soldiers stood about, there was a loud groaning noise. Dash and Rarity trotted through the guard, reached the ramp just in time to see the gates fully open. Bright Voice trotted back up the ramp. You two, Pegasus, Unicorn, have you eaten? Rarity fought back her annoyance at the label. Yes, sir, she said. Dash nodded. Yet more ponies emerged from back home. Steelbane was among them. She tried towards the two questioning ponies. Have either of you seen Captain Astaire? She asked, a trace of worry in her voice. Haven't seen him since he woke us up this morning, Dash said. He and Applejack left on their own. You've not seen them since, Verity added. The great Earth Pony grimaced. I shouldn't worry. You wouldn't be late for this. She met their eyes. Are you two feeling all right? I am worried about you. I hope your friend knows what she's doing. I question your friend's confidence myself, Bright Voice remarked. You don't know her, Simeon said. I do not question her. Even if she is wrong, it will not be because of her own foolishness. Yet it is his height of foolishness, is it not? Like the umpire said, to control among us is a exercise of futility. I hope she succeeds. Riverdance hesitated before speaking next. Even that means you won't need all this anymore? She tapped Steelman's arm over her front hoof. Even if it means no more fighting and glory? Steelman nodded. The proper theme of every warrior is to someday put down his spear for good. If my daughter could grow up in a safer ideal, I shall give up fighting with a smile. I hope that's enough chatting, Breakfast said. He turned around. Deal guard, to the field! Full defense lines east! Siege formation! Time away from Deal guard began to move down the ramp in unison, joined by yet more ponies within that column. Good luck, Steelman said. She joined the soldiers as they laughed. When she was out of earshot, Dad turned to Rarity. See? She's brave. She's brave enough to even give up fighting, even though that's her cutie mark. White Unicorn said, I believe you're right. So they're not all united in their fierce hates. Brow furrowed. I may have been too quick to trust them again. I think you're mostly right, the Scared Blue Pegasus said. But no point is simple. They can be afraid of change, but still hope for the best, can't they? Perhaps they can, Nash, she remarked. A shadow fell over them. Looking at, they saw Lord Hammerhoof in full armor. Every plate of his armor was stitched and attached with gold thread. There was a large ruby on his chaperon, ringed with gold. Well, as your off-putty friend, he rumbled. Verity bowed her head. My lords, we cannot say. As we saw her, she was with Prince Astia. Who is missing as well, the great stallion remarked. A howl carried to the air, and swallowed by a chorus of howls wailing on the wind. You had best hurry. You two will come with me. He tried to cross the ground towards the ramp. The two equestrians followed close behind him. Verity knows he bore no extra weapons, no spear, no hoof axe, no knife. All he had was his ivory hoof. Passing through the gates, the Lord of the Dale turned right and tried along the stone foundation. Reaching the corner, he turned to right again. Raymond's eyes widened. Thousands of armored ponies stood facing east, ranged in three long lines that spanned the whole length of Stockholm's foundation. They were rigid and still, like statues, staring straight ahead. In the middle of the front line, Brightfoot stood, along with Checkerboard, just as Steelman said. The thin-painted pony wore armor and carried a spear and a knife. She spotted other ponies who she swore she had seen wearing golden necklaces last night in the timbered court. Hammerhoof stopped there, in the empty space in the front line. Brightfoot, Checkerboard, and several other ponies lowered their heads. My lord Hammerhoof, Checkerboard said. Has there been no sign of Prince Astia? Hammerhoof asked. I did not see him all this morning, my lord, Checkerboard replied. Here he comes, Ravendash cried. And there's Applejack! Every pony looked to the north. Rounding the corner of the foundation, Astia appeared in full armor, bearing spear and hoof axe. Applejack followed quick behind him. Verity and Dasher gasped with wonder as their friend approached. Applejack was wearing armor, a full set Dale Guard armor. Leather greaves wrapped around her lower legs, tied tightly on the inside facing. A thick leather cover was fixing on her hindquarters. Two solid pieces of boiled leather stitched together on top. Stamped on either flank with brancy golden grass and glidedale. A gap at the back allowed her tail to fly free. Her sides were protected by flanchers, solid plates of leather slung over the top of her back by a flat leather saddle. Round her chest, a portrayal of leather stitched with gold and thread struts, its arms attached to a plate of leather that curved down her breastbone. There was a tie behind her neck that held the armor in place. She only wore the upper chin wrap, a wrapper of leathern armor around the top of her neck. On her head, around her face, was a chaperon of leather with gold stitching. In the middle was a small emerald of deep green. At the very top of her head, Applejack still wore her brown cowcolt's hat. At first, it seemed out of place, but the more her friends saw her, the more it seemed to fit, personalizing her altered appearance. My lord, Astil said, inclining his head as he rode up. Hammerhill's eyes blazed. You gave her. You said I could do with it what I wished, did you not? Astil replied sharply. Grace Stallion said nothing for a moment, then snorted. So I did. He made. Perhaps I was unwise. Another howl broke out across the fields. Several more howls answered it. A faint rumble reached every pony's ears. When they turned towards the rising sun, it illuminated a dark line at the horizon. Of ponies of Equestria! Hammerhoof said, turning his gaze on Applejack. Will you still later? Applejack hissed. This is it. All or nothing. I will, my lord, she said. So be it! He tried to the open place of night, turning facing the east. As Tails tried to his side, good luck, he whispered as he passed Applejack's ears. Equestrians, Hammerhost said. The fields are yours. Applejack turned to her friends. She noticed Rarity was wearing the crystal hornblade from the previous day. Rarity, why are you wearing it? You know we won't be doing any fighting. And I hope not to, Rarity said. But I think this thing makes my magic stronger. We need all the help we can get. Alright, she said. Rainbow, you ready? Ready! Let's do this! Dash cried, excitement coursing through her veins. Okay, Applejack said, sitting back on her hindquarters. She used her front hooves to lift thick coils of rope from around her neck. Sitting on the ground, she broke it up into 3 coiled lengths, with a long brown noose tied by the end of each knot. Take your lassos! The white unicorn, sky blue pixies each took up a coil of rope in their mouths. Applejack took up the remaining rope. Now!